In a market saturated with so many great options, let me show you why the ImSim Talentos are the best load cell pedals that I've ever reviewed. I have been eagerly awaiting to review these since ImRacing Expo 2021. Now that they have been released, ImSim has sent one for review, which I have been extensively testing for the last month, and I really think you should be paying attention to these. ImSim is not a company that is as known as other sim racing brands in the market. They are, or were, more centered in boutique-type movement rigs like the Alma and now the Terra. The parent company has an interesting story. It has been in the automotive, testing, and machine building space for over 30 years. They bring all of this experience into sim racing, and now ImSim is coming with a more grounded sim racing product other than the rigs. Some of the choices they made may sound strange at first, but with the industrial background, they will start to make sense. As for prices, the base 2-pedal sets are £615, $754, or €700. The version I have for test has all the bells and whistles and will set you back around £1,000. That's really not far off from Oisingveld Ultimate money. And speaking of that, the pedals at a glance may look similar to Oisingveld's, but that's only at a glance. It is a fully stainless steel pedal set with a complete set of customization features all around. The sensors are industrial-grade Contelec potentiometers. These aren't just any type of potentiometers, they are industry-level equipment used in agricultural, medical, automotive, and precision for mission-critical applications and rated to 2 million cycles. That's about 10 years lapping the Le Mans without a pause. The load cell is a custom-made Maven unit rated at 180 kilos. One of the main differences from everything else out there, and one of the features of this pedal set, is that the throttle pedal and clutch pedal geometry is modifiable, being possible to change how the pedals feel without any change in components. The throttle and clutch pedals are fitted with torsion springs where the force and preloads can be changed with ease through a change in geometry and with a clever arm and cam design. With the simple use of a tool that comes in a package or even with your hands, the stiffness of the spring can change, and then the cam position will change the preload of your pedals. For the brake pedal, 2 elastomers come in the pack, the 60 kg black one and the 80 kg white one. The brake pedal will look at a glance very similar to what's available elsewhere, but once again, it's only at a glance. It's exactly here that ImSim shows their engineering knowledge. They had equipment longevity in mind for every area of the pedal set, including the way the elastomers are housed. Each elastomer will have a factory grade, a specific rating where they will maintain their longevity. Going past those ratings can lead to the elastomers ripping, something that is in reality not that uncommon even for high-end pedals. So to avoid that problem, the elastomers are housed within these stoppers, and these stoppers serve 2 purposes. One of them is to avoid the elastomer to go over its specification, and the other way is that you'll have also a mechanical stop because both ends will meet. The brake pedal also comes with a Beefy preload spring. This pedal is also where the Leo Bodnar electronics are housed with a clever trick. As the Talentos can be inverted, the connectors for the clutch and throttle pedals are interchangeable, only requiring a tick in the software. For those of you who want to invert these pedals, that means a very easy cable routing. A contention point about the Talentos may be the performance kit due to its price, but here once again the engineering background comes into play. There are a choice between elastomers and spacers to create multiple combinations. Each elastomer will have a CNC machine stopper to once again avoid the elastomers to overcompress. With this kit, it is possible to have your pedal setup up to 180 kilos if you are into that kind of kink. Or on the opposite side of the spectrum, it also comes with a 30 kilo elastomer, so you can have in between all of that, between 30 kilos and 180 kilos, you have multiple combinations to choose from. Coming in the kit, there is also available a pedal guard to avoid slippages under and off the pedals. The thick plate allows for mounting the Talentos with different side-to-side and front-to-back offsets. So if you want to have a recessed throttle pedal for heel and toe, this is possible and it's very easy to use. With the T-nut system they have chosen, you really don't need to remove the pedals for any of these changes. You just need to slightly tighten or unloose the bolts and then tighten them again with maybe having a finger to keep the T-nut in place. That would be more than enough. On the software side of things, everything is fairly straightforward. It's simple to understand, navigate, except on a folder structure that could have a little more tightening it up. The pedal calibration tool allows to set the brake force pedal to your preferred position. You can do all your calibrations, you can add all the necessary dead zones if you need them. I can tell you the Talentos are my favorite load cell pedals that I've tried by some margin. The prototypes that I tried at Sim Racing Expo 2021 were excellent. The production pedals though, they absolutely blew me away. I tried to measure the usability of pedals based on the track performance compared to the pedals that I've used in my rig for years, so in this case the Fanatec V3s. I must say, not only these match the V3s in performance, but surpass them quite easily, beating my times by some margin even after an hiatus that I took and not being as active as I was last year. The throttle control is fantastic with all of these options. As a force applied in the pedal is not linear throughout the progression, it's very easy to understand where your pedal is at. The brake pedal though, it's easily all the rage in this set. With the performance kit, you'll have all the possibilities to customize the pedals as you wish. With the preload spring, without it, one as hard as a rock or one with tremendous progression. Because of the stopper guides, the elastomers will have a shelf life as indicated by factory standards. That is of course also the case with the stock brake pedal elastomers, and due to them being softer, the brake pedal unit will give an interesting physical feedback. The preload spring travel will indicate what is the range of the trail braking force. Then when both stopper guides meet, it indicates where the 100% of brake force is. What this means is that there will be no wasted force in the brake pedal by over braking past the 100% mark. So you'll have a more physical and instinctive brake feedback, and of course that will result in a more precise and replicable braking experience. For example, a corner that requires 100% pedal activation and then release for trail braking will have two distinctive pedal feels. A hard one where the brake is fully engaged, that may be kept at 100% as much as it's needed to slow down to the corner. Then as you trail off from the pedal, it changes from the elastomer feel into a softer feel that comes from the spring. Or for example, a twisty section that only requires a marginal brake application. A load cell system with some sort of physical feedback is for me an absolute game changer. This can of course be used in any other number of ways, for example where the 100% is before the stoppers meet or even after they meet. Even though the elastomers will be fully compressed, the load cell may be activated until the 100 kilo mark. As swapping the elastomers is so simple, finding your own setup will take very little time. Lastly, the clutch added for me the most interesting heel and toe experience in any pedal set that I've tried. It's really a natural system. It can be set linearly or with bite point, but I found that a light bite point is exactly what I wanted in my rig. It is a pleasure to drive manual cars with the Talentos. Now let's talk a bit about the downsides and places to improve. First of all, the pedal tray kit needs to be slightly wider. As they feel cramped with the three pedals. ImSim is releasing a wider plate in the future, but regardless, the throttle pedal face could use 2 more holes. Speaking of those faces, they should look better. I can deal with the rounded brake and clutch ones. They will feel more vintage or look more vintage, but the throttle pedal face is just functional, not to call it ugly because it is, for the price. And I would expect at the very least for this price a better looking pedal face, especially looking at the ones that come installed. And price will lead me to my next point. The Talentos are expensive, sitting in between a set of sprints and a set of ultimates. Fully kitted like these ones are, it will set you back around 1,000 pounds. It is very expensive. A comparable kitted Venom set will be around 950, sprints around 800. Ultimates will be around 1300. It's really a tall ask for a company that is not very known to have a pedal set that is this expensive. In my opinion, from what I've tried, I think that the fully kitted system is really not needed. The performance kit for me was hugely passable. These stock elastomers were just more than enough for me. I never felt the need to keep the pedal guards installed more than 10 minutes, and the elastomers, they were just used for this video. I do understand the reasoning behind the 30 kilo elastomer being in the performance kit, though I would say it would fit better if it came in the stock pedal set. Not buying the performance kit lowers the prices significantly, and if you have already a system that allows for pedal mounting, it's even possible to forego the pedal tray. The Talentos are pricey, but they reflect the quality and passion ImSim injected into them. Every single part chosen is high-ends, made to last. The build is absolutely rock solid. The driving experience is phenomenal. Everything says you are not just buying a pedal set, you are also buying expertise in something to last years to come.